Where were you born, Mama's boy?
Brooklyn, New York.
And describe growing up in Brooklyn.
I mean, it was quite a good life. We had a lot of money, but we weren't poor. My parents took good care of us. Went to private school. It was good. I had a good life in Brooklyn.
And what kind of kid were you?
I was a smart kid. Did good in school. Kind of a punk, maybe a little bit when I was real young. My mom felt like I needed to learn how to defend myself. That's why she put me in the gym. But it wasn't because I was getting beat up or anything like that. Just I got beat up in one fight. She just wanted me to learn how to defend myself a little better. But other than that, though, Brooklyn was cool.
Describe your household for me. Were you an only child?
Nah, I have a little brother and an older sister. So my house was cool. I mean, it was a small house, 2 bedrooms. Me and my siblings shared a room. But like I said, my parents took good care of us.
Yeah. And your mom was an amateur boxer. What was it like having a mom who boxed?
To be honest with you, at that time, it didn't really matter to me. I wasn't into boxing when I was little, so she was boxing, and it just was her boxing. It had nothing really to do with me.
And what do you remember? Did you ever go to the gym with your mom?
Yeah, she used to make me go to the gym with her. I remember her training and stuff like that. But again, like I said, I didn't believe. I was young. I was like 6, 7 years old. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I was running around the gym and bother everybody that was working out. That's about it.
Yeah. And how old were you when you first wanted to try it?
I didn't want to try it. She forced me to do it. Like I said, I didn't like boxing. So as a kid, so she forced me to do it when I was 8 years old. Made me stay in the gym. But I actually hated boxing. I actually tried to make up excuses and stuff to get out the gym.
Mm-hmm. And who would you see in the gym as a boy? Would you see anyone popular?
Say it again?
Would you see anybody that you would see on TV in the gym as a boy growing up?
No, not when I was like 7, 8, 9. No, I didn't. I mean, they could have been popular, but like I said, I didn't watch boxing whatsoever, so I don't know who was in the gym.
And what was your total amateur record?
I know it was like 94 wins and 9 losses, something around that. I know I had over 100 fights. I know I had 9 losses, but I'm not too sure how many wins I had.
Yeah. And your total amateur record was 92-9, and
93 and 9, so something around those numbers, yeah.
Yeah. What was it like having an amateur career in New York? What was it like by the time you were like a teenager? And you were going.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was just like having an amateur career anywhere else. I mean, there's a lot of great fighters in New York, of course. So the competition was stiff, but other than that, it was just regular boxing. It was something we enjoyed doing. I loved competing. Once I got to that age, around 14, 15, I loved boxing, so it was cool.
Mm-hmm. And when you won the 2007 National Pale Championship, how'd you feel? Was that your first time winning a major tournament?
Well, I had won the ringside tournament before that, but that was my first one where you get points naturally ranked and stuff like that. So I mean, it was a great. I mean, as an adult, I also won the Junior Olympic Nationals, but as an adult, winning the National PL tournament, it was good, but wasn't a surprise. We went out there planning to win the tournament, and I just followed the game plan.
Mm-hmm. And when the first time you won the New York State Golden Gloves were you particularly proud of that one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm equally proud of everything. I just like winning. I love winning. So whatever I was able to win, I was happy that I accomplished that. So the New York Golden Gloves was great. We got to fight Madison Square Garden. A lot of my family came out. It was a good feeling.
Yeah, and you were considered one of the top prospects to actually medal in the Olympics, but you had a really bad car accident. What do you remember about that night, the night of the car accident?
I was sneaking out to see a girl. I was past my curfew. My mom called me to see where I was. They told me to put the alarm on in the house. I tried to get back home real quick before she noticed I was home. Got into a real bad car accident. Broke a bone in my neck, and I messed up my spine a little bit. So I had to take a little while off from the gym. So I mean, it sucked at the time, but I learned from everything. So I felt like it was a great learning experience for me. It made me take boxing a lot more serious. And I missed the Olympics, but I mean that was my goal for that time. But it's just your goal now. I'm trying to be a world champion. I'm always doing that.
Yeah. So it tore you up when you missed the Olympics.
It definitely. I mean, I wasn't even able to make it to the trial, so it sucks not knowing if you could have made it. I mean, the weight class was definitely stacked. At first they were saying that it was going to be between me and Demetrius Andrade at 152. But then as I moved up in weight and stuff like that, they were saying that it was going to be tough between Danny Jacobs, Sean Porter, It's just a bunch of great fighters at 155. So I wanted to see where I stood as far as the top in the country. So that part hurt the most, just not even being able to compete.
Yeah, it stinks that you have to have your dreams shattered like that. But overall, you're a lucky guy because you got to travel and see the world, and a lot of people don't do that, you know?
Yes, sir.
What's some of your favorite places you saw when you traveled for boxing?
I mean, I don't really judge. I don't really rank the places in any particular order. I just like getting outside of my realm, being in a different place, a different comfort zone. So I liked everywhere. California, Florida, everywhere was a great experience because you got to try something new there, and just getting away from the house for a little while.
Yeah, you put it all in your rear view and you turned pro. You remember who and where and what the result was of that first fight?
My pro debut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a guy by the name of Roberto Irizarry, I think his name was, from Florida. The fight lasted, I think, a minute and something, or 50-something seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Went out there and threw a bunch of punches, and I was able to get him out of there. But yeah, of course I remember that. It was pro debut, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you feel after winning that first fight?
Like, this is what I definitely want to do for the rest of my life, which is something I already knew from the jump. But just getting in that ring, no headgear, the crowd, everything, the adrenaline, it was an amazing feeling. I know I wanted to experience that feeling for as long as I possibly could.
And you turned pro and you became maybe the only active fighter who's trained by their mother. Of course, women prove they can do it through like people like Ann Wolfe, so it can be done. Tell me about your mom training and how training camps are under your mom.
It's tough. I mean, as a woman, they already come into the sport feeling like they have something to prove. Because if I do bad, the first thing many people tell me is, "Oh, it's 'cause I have mom in my corner," and stuff like that. So she feels like it's her against the world. So she trains me ridiculously hard, and it's a great experience to have my mom as my coach because I have her in the gym, I have her in the house for right now. So it's cool. It's hard, but it's cool, and I like the fact that she's finally getting the recognition as a great trainer, and we're just gonna try to keep building from it.
Yeah, and who knows you better than Mama, you know?
Exactly.
And take me back to the Chad Greenleaf fight. You knocked him out with like a series of body shots. Do you put a lot of emphasis on your body attack like that?
I mean, it depends on what the particular game plan is for that fight. I love body shots. I think body punches. Not a lot of people, in my opinion, do sit-ups. I mean, it's just something you neglect in the gym. You feel like it's not doing anything. People go in the gym and train hard, hit the bag for hours and stuff, and then they'll leave. They don't do the abs. So I know a lot of people have weak bodies. So that was the particular game plan for that fight. I just tried to execute, and we were able to get them out of there. And I think I was able to get a couple of opponents out with body shots. So it's definitely a good attack.
Yep. Definitely a good idea. How'd you feel fighting at the Garden for the first time when you fought Joshua Onyango at the Mecca?
The Garden, I mean, it's one of the most, it's the most famous arena, so that was definitely a big deal. But I was there before when I fought in the gloves, and I try not to get caught up in the moment. I know I have a job to do, and it felt great to fight there. But I like to set my goals extremely high, and my goal is to be a main event at the Madison Square Garden, not the first fight at Madison Square Garden. So as great as it was a stepping stone for me to get better and go further.
Yeah. What was that? Were you the undercard for what fight? Was it a big fight?
That was the Poland Malignaggi American undercard.
Oh wow! So it was in the big room.
Yeah, it was a big room, the big arena. So there's a lot of people out there.
Oh, that's cool, man. And then you destroyed Orpheus Waite and then Matt Berkshire, and you were looking pretty impressive. How'd you feel at that point in your career?
I felt like I was unstoppable, and I think that's what led to my first loss. The fact that I was getting these guys out of there so fast, and a lot of people were telling me how impressive I was looking. I was real confident in myself.
Yeah. So what did happen in that next fight with Doel Carrasquillo? What happened in that fight, man?
Well, we got the fight. I had just saw Doel fight Alex Perez, another guy from Jersey, and I thought Alex did really well with him. And I was just actually confident going into the fight. To be honest with you, I tell people all the time, I didn't even want the fight. I wanted a tougher opponent when they originally came to me with the name. So I don't want to fight this guy. He's nobody. So that was the mentality I had training for the fight. I didn't train as hard as I normally do by far. I did really bad with weight management, everything. So I went to the fight. Then I didn't even follow the game plan. The plan was to just outbox him. He's a tough guy. He's durable. He doesn't usually get stopped. So my mom's plan was just to box him, use the jab, attack the body, and get him out to the deep water 7-8 rounds. Then we'll look for a knockout then. But I dropped him in the first round with a great body shot, and I think that messed my mind up because I was looking for the knockout early instead of following the game plan. I got caught with a good shot.
Yeah. And you kind of can't help it when you have an O on your record. You kind of fantasize about going your whole career without being beaten and stuff. How's it feel to lose for the first time and kind of early in your career like that? How'd you feel? How'd you feel after?
At first, it sucked at first, because reporters are funny, so you automatically have to lose in one fight. You're no longer a prospect, or you're a bum, or you're not going to make it far in the sport. But I have a great team behind me. The people in New Jersey are great. My family is great. Everyone's so supportive that I keep close to me. So I just use it as a learning experience. I slept on my opponent, and I paid the ultimate price for it. It won't happen again. You will never hear me saying that I don't respect an opponent. I don't care what his record is. I'm going to train like it's a world champion fight. And I actually feel like the one loss gives me an edge over a lot of people now because I know how it feels to lose, and I know I don't want to go back to that feeling ever again. A lot of people with those don't know how it feels, so they don't push that extra mile. I'm going to push because I don't want to experience what I experienced before.
Yeah,
I think it helps me out.
Yeah, it could. I heard that theory now. It could help. It doesn't have to be, one loss doesn't have to be the end all, you know? Some people take it like that, but I think maybe because
boxing is probably like one of the only sports where it's like that. Not even MMA, because MMA has great fighters that have like 8, 9 losses and they're future Hall of Famers. Yeah. But boxing fans and reporters and stuff are quick to write you off because you're only as good as your last fight. But it's the sport that we love, and I'm just gonna not lose again.
Yep. So did you just decided to take it more seriously and stuff? That's what you changed in camp. You didn't change anything physically. You just changed how serious you take it.
Exactly. There was nothing wrong with my coaching or anything like that. It was the fact that I didn't take my opponent seriously. I didn't put the work in, and as a result, I lost the fight.
Yeah, and it's good you learned it early. And then you came back against Philip McCants. How'd you feel going into that fight for the first time after losing? Did it play in the back of your mind at all, or were you just totally confident?
Just the thought that a lot of people felt that going into the fight that now the Mama's boy doesn't have a chin and he gets hit with one good shot, he's probably going to go down or they're going to stop the fight. So I just felt like I had a lot to prove, but I was always confident in myself. And I never got into the ring feeling uncomfortable or anything. And that's exactly why we took such a tough fight in Philip McCants right after the loss. Usually people look for a 2-12 opponent after a loss or something easy that they can knock somebody out real quick to try to build their confidence back up. But I definitely didn't need a confidence booster because I knew what my mistake was. I knew what I had to do. And we took a tough fight with Philip McCants, and I was able to get the win. Then we took another tough fight right after that with another undefeated fighter. And now this is another undefeated fighter. So it shows you that I'm not afraid of anybody, and I have 100% confidence in my abilities.
Yeah, you fought first fight you fought of this year, 2012. You made your pro debut on ESPN. How much added nerves being on TV for the Steve Martinez fight?
I mean, of course, there's gonna be nerves with it because you know a lot of people are watching. You want to look impressive, but I try not to think about that as much as possible. I just try to focus on what I have to do, and that was beating Steven Martinez. He's a tough dude. I know him from the amateurs. We grew up together, so I knew it was gonna be a tough fight. So we just tried to stay focused and give him my best chance.
And do you remember it as being a tough fight? Was that one of your hardest times in the ring?
Yeah, I would say that was one of my toughest fights. But I feel like it had a lot to do with the preparation for that fight. Again, I took that fight on short notice. I had about 4 weeks. The weight was high, so a lot went into weight management as far as that fight goes. And it's definitely a tough fight. It's always going to be a tough fight when you have another prospect across the ring from you, and they don't want to have their first loss. So it was a tough fight, but we were able to get past it.
Yeah, you won the 8-round split. What'd you think of that decision? Were you happy taking it that night? Did you feel confident that you won that fight?
Yeah, I definitely thought I wanted the fight at the end, but I thought it was close, which it was, on a split decision. But like I said, I felt like I won, and then when I went home and watched the tape, I was even more confident in the fact that I won the fight. I actually thought it was a little bit more obvious that I won once I actually saw the fight. So it was a good experience for me.
Yeah, you could learn from a close night too. You know, what could you have done better? Do you see things that you could have done better?
Yeah, definitely. I kept my head in the middle. I waited on the ropes a lot to try to counter instead of being the most aggressive one. I had in my head that he was a hard-hitting puncher. I knew that from people that fought him in the past, and everybody was telling me so. I think I waited a little bit too much instead of being more aggressive and tried to rely on reflexes and defenses instead of my offense. So I definitely learned a lot from that fight, 100%.
Yeah. Do you think
I also learned a lot about myself though, as far as my push out. My mom was in the corner, told me I needed the last round, I needed to push, and I was able to do that. So it was a positive that I took out of the fight as well.
Yeah, your mom brought the best out in you. She knows how to talk to you. Do you think? Did anyone ever say that you try to balance too much? Maybe you go to school and try to help your mom coach in her gym that she has. Did anyone say that they think you might try to balance too much while trying to fight still?
No, not really, because I work in the gym, we help people out and stuff like that, but when it's training time, the employees in the gym and everybody around the gym and the people I train, they all understand, so it doesn't bother me. Even like as far as when I was in school, I took the semester off, but when I was in school, my professors would give me a lot of leniency towards the work I had to do and everything like that, because everybody, like I said, that I'm around is 100% behind me. So once I was training for a fight, I really had no type of distractions from my family, from gym, my girlfriend, school. Pretty much everybody let me focus on the fight, so that's definitely not an excuse at all.
Mm-hmm. And what are your interests outside of boxing? Do you have any? Or are you all about boxing?
I was going to school for teaching. I want to be a teacher after I finally retired from boxing, but my number one love is boxing, so I definitely always want to be involved in the gym somehow, even if I'm not actually fighting anymore. I want to be coaching, and I'm always going to have one foot in the door. I hope that the commentators and stuff like that and people in boxing realize how well of a speaker I am, and they give me a commentator job so I can replace Roy Jones with Tarver.
Yeah, Tarver's good. It's going to be tough.
They're both good. That definitely wasn't a shot at anybody. I think Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver are both well-spoken boxers, and they do a great job. So I just want to continue on. I mean, they can't do it forever.
That's right.
Everybody's going to get replaced at one point, so I just want to be somebody's replacement.
Yeah. No, I know they're good. I know. And I could hear you. I could tell you got great potential. I think you could do it right now.
I appreciate that.
And tomorrow you make your Showtime television debut against another prospect in undefeated Jermell Charlo. You're fighting at the Staples Center in L.A. What do you think about L.A. and the attention the fight's getting so far? Is it bigger than any fight?
LA is beautiful, man. It's amazing. I was actually just outside walking the strip. I love it out here, and I'm extra excited to be fighting out here on the West Coast. My first time ever pro, so I'm in front of a whole new audience, a whole new group of reporters I've never seen before, group of fans I've never seen before, even heard of the Mama's Boy. It's crazy. At the press conference, people were coming up to me in amazement that my mom was my head coach, and I'm just excited to go out here and show the world what I'm made of. And fighting a fighter like Jermell Charlo, who's an undefeated Golden Boy prospect, fighting on the Golden Boy card, so I know the deck is stacked against me. This is the moment that real fighters and people that really want to be champions in the sport live for. I'm so excited to go in here and just defy the odds. I'm extra excited.
Yeah, man. Amen. What do you think of Jermell Charlo as a fighter?
I think he's a good boxer. He has a great jab. He's fast. Uses his movement well. But I don't see anything extraordinary in him. I don't think he's gonna be too much of a problem for me. I feel like he just has a good set of boxing skills, not too much power. He doesn't punch a lot. So I'm just gonna push the pace and make him uncomfortable.
And I know to sell 20 pounds. That's doable. 20.
Okay, and what do you want to show in this fight, Dennis?
I want to just show how entertaining I am as a boxer, because that's really what the sport comes down to. It's about entertainment. You could be the best fighter in the world, but if you don't pull the audience into it, and if you don't give them exciting fights, then they don't want to see you. So, and there's a lot of great boxers out here that will never hit superstar status because of the fact that they're not entertaining. They just win the fight. So, I just want to show the world that I'm a great fighter, but I'm also very entertaining. So I'm going to come forward, I'm going to throw a lot of punches, and I'm going to try to knock them out. That's what people want to see. People want to see knockout fights, knockout punches, and that's what I'm going to throw. So I'm just going to show the world that at 154, I'm definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Dennis Douglin, the Mama's Boy. Easy to root for you, man. And good luck tomorrow night. I'll talk to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Talk to you later. And there you have it. Straight from the Mama's Boy's mouth. Let's watch him on ESPN Friday Night Fights tomorrow night and see how he does. Follow me on Twitter, Chris #2 Guns. Thank you.